Well, in Bahrain, it's this year just turned 16 years in Bahrain, so I've been around for a while. I'm from Argentina, so that's where it started. I did my studies and I started my career there. And I remember I came here in January 2000 as just as an experience, just to try it out. Because I have family here as well. I have relatives who've been here for much longer. So came here for a year. I worked with Akram Miknas in Fortune Promoseven. I worked with him for a year. As a junior, I was an account executive back then. But still, it was a great experience. And I loved Bahrain from the beginning, and I loved it so much that I stayed. So 16 years later, here I am, and it's been quite a journey. It's been really, really interesting. I mean, my background is agency. I've been in several advertising agencies here, and also in the UAE, and even briefly in Qatar as well. I even set up an office here in Bahrain, the JWT office. Back in late 2003, we set it up with my colleague Yunus Skani, and we launched MTC Vodafone into the market, which was also amazing, huge experience. At the beginning, we were like, I remember when we turned from being a small team of 5 people in a tiny office, that was the original JWT office here in Bahrain, getting support from obviously from the other JWT office in the region, but the office here we were 5, including the coffee boy. And in 6 months we were 25, which was it was amazing, but it was a challenge as well because such a quick growth, and all this at the same time while working with MTC Vodafone, doing like 20 campaigns per month, and even winning new accounts. We won that year in 2005. We won the Formula One account. We did the campaign for the 2006 Grand Prix. So it was really, really super interesting. It's quite a challenge as well, but it was very, very interesting. It was a great learning experience. And then, like my curious self, I started moving around, and first I was headhunted from the BIC, so I moved from JWT. They were my clients, and they called me and said like, "Hey, why don't you come and work with us?" So I moved in with them as head of corporate sales, which for me was like a dream come true because I'm a huge Formula One fan. So just being there and working on the inside, organizing a Grand Prix for me was a dream come true. And it was great. It was super successful. The team there was, back then, it was brilliant. Martin Whitaker was the CEO. Talal Zain was the chairman. We had Sheikh Salman also supporting us. And we had a great team, and it was an amazing experience. But then this crazy thing happened, which was like in the middle of the boom of all the financial institutions here in Bahrain, and this new bank was coming out. It was being established early 2006. Was Ithmar Bank. Again, they called me in. They said, "Listen, it's just being established. We need someone to run the corporate comms department," which didn't exist. Literally, I arrived at the beginning, it was just me, and then we have to develop it into a whole a group resource. So moved into Ithmar Bank. Also an amazing experience because although Ithmar started as an investment bank, but it went all out. And I'm sure if you've been here in 2006, 7, and 8, you heard about Ithmar Bank and all the things that we were doing back then. So that was really super interesting. It was a great experience. The team was also amazing. And also it gave me like a nice outlook into the finance industry and how banks work and the whole region, because Ethmar Bank started as an investment bank, but it was also a holding company. It had a lot of companies under it, including Solidarity, Faisal Islamic Bank in Pakistan. Then we launched Nasij, we launched Al Munia, which is still there, it's being developed, and other ventures, which some of them they're not even there. But it was really a very, very interesting and rewarding experience, and I stayed with them for like 4.5 years. And then the whole merger happened, and Ethmar Bank turned into a retail bank, and in late 2010 I decided to move out. I thought it was my time to just go and look for a next challenge. And kind of like you could say that I went back to the agency side in a way, but I started my own project, which also I loved because it's something I always wanted to do. That was called Mother Brand, and worked with a lot of, as a consultant, basically, as a marketing consultant. It was really interesting. I was in Qatar for 3 months, supporting the largest agency in Qatar, which is MacDDB. I was working with Qatari DR, which is a huge real estate developers there from Qatar, and they're global, actually. They have projects all over the world. So I was there for 3 months. And also in the UAE, I was in Abu Dhabi. I worked there for almost a year, back with Akram in a way. With his group, if you want to call it in a way. So we set up a new office for the group advertising office there in Abu Dhabi. For a very interesting client, it was just Al Hilal Bank in Abu Dhabi, which is the #1 Islamic bank there. So with my background, after all my Ethmar Bank experience, I could really add value into the whole thing from a different perspective, because now I was being agency there. And so that was super interesting. But then I came back to Bahrain because this is my home now, so I had to come back. And I had this chance, a bit over a year ago, to join MEM GMI, which is something that also I love, because I always wanted to sort of try the media side of the business. Overall, if you could define me in a way, my approach is I'm a generalist. Everything within marketing, communications, I love to do it. So I've done agency, I've done client side, and then a bit of consulting and media as well, and PR, but not so much. So the media side, I found it really, really very interesting. This is more specifically outdoors media. As you know, MEM GMI, it's the leading outdoors media company in Bahrain. It's been for the past 25 years or so. So it was also really, really interesting. Also quite a challenge, because there's a lot of things that I didn't know from the business, the hardcore business secrets, if you want to call it. But it's been great. It's been a very, very nice journey, and I learned a lot, and I would like to think that also I gave a lot in a way. But it's amazing. And the beautiful thing about Bahrain is that after being here for a certain amount of years, you get to know people. People know you. So kind of like your reputation precedes you in a way. So, and that makes also business a lot easier sometimes. So especially if you have a good in this part of the world. So we're looking forward to we're working pretty hard. We have some partners, also from the UK that are helping us. It's really, really interesting. I mean, I can't wait to see it happening. I can't give you details about it, obviously, but really I can't wait to see it happen. It's going to be awesome. Well, MEM first, by definition, we're not an agency. We're media owners. So, being an outdoors media company, it's pretty diverse because there's some, we own, all the sites that we have, out on the highways and the streets, the scaffoldings, unipolls, backlit posters, and down here, the BFH, you see the big Prisma and the light box they have there, and the traffic light, that's ours as well. So you kind of have, it has a bit of an element of real estate in it, and media, obviously, marketing, but also you have to know and be very aware of, what your clients need and what they want, and what is the trend and what's coming next. From our side, we always wanted to keep on adding value. We don't want to be reactive. We don't want to say it's like, the next best thing is like, I don't know, like 3D holograms, and all the traffic lights. We want to come up with those innovations and those solutions, and then tell our clients, hey, listen, here it is. We did it thinking, about you guys, and they come and they take it. So, and that's something that it's worked really good for us, and our clients always been very responsive. Bahrain, despite being a small market compared to the rest of the Gulf, but there's always been like really interesting innovations, and our clients, they're very, very eager, and they're not afraid to experiment, and take a little risk, in a way. Now, for example, talking about innovation now, in SIF, we are installing the largest light boxes that no one has ever seen here in the country. We have a partner that it's launching with us. There are two huge 20 by 10 light boxes that we're installing on the BMMI tower. Yeah. That the car park, that side of the building that faces SIF Mall. So now if you go, you see the scaffolding, but we're installing them. We have them installed, we're going to finish now and during March. So they're huge. It's like total area is like 400 square meters, backlit, beautiful light boxes, and it's a one of a kind. So that's, even those things, we're always trying to push the envelope and innovate. So yeah, there's a lot of things on the table. Well, advertising, in Bahrain is always challenging. And I'll tell you why. It's always challenging because, on one hand, you have to keep on, educating your clients about, the best ways and the best practices, and that's something that, and I have to give the credit, especially to the big agencies here, the Fortune Promosevens and MEMAX and JWTs, and YNR. They've always been working very, very hard to bring those international standards, and the global know-how, bring it and establish it here in Bahrain and work, following those guidelines. Despite, a lot of sometimes, what do you say, a bit of rejection from the clients. But that's always been a process, and it's, throughout the years, it's always been improving. And as always, the economy goes up and down. It goes through cycles. I remember back in 2006 and 2007 and even 2008, companies were spending a lot, because they have money, so they're spending a lot. They're like throwing money out there, to everything, in media. I mean, they were doing wonderfully. But what happens when the times, the economy goes down? The first budget that gets slashed is the marketing budget, and you guys know that very well. So that is the challenge, how to keep that more or less balanced, and not go through like big ups and downs, just give some consistency to your business. That is the biggest challenge at the moment. Last year was a good year for us. I'm very happy to say that. It's like since 2011, which was like dead, it started like going out and going up. Last year was good. And this year, actually, we're optimistic. We're, despite what a lot of people are saying that, oh no, things are so bad, and the price of oil and all these things, but there has been some budget cuts. Some of our clients, they did slash budgets, but new projects are coming up. Real estate is experiencing a bit of a rebirth in a way, and they're coming out and they're spending, and that's compensating in a way. So, all in all, I mean, we're still, it's a positive balance, I can say. Well, the big advertisers, I mean, you see them on the street. So, the telecoms, they love outdoors. And Bahrain is really a market for outdoors, more than any other country I feel in the Gulf, because it's obviously because of the size, but with a relatively small investment, in certain key locations, you get it all covered. And here, word of mouth is like super effective. It's very strong. It's actually in my opinion, one of the strongest marketing tools that you can have. So by having a couple of really beautiful, impactful outdoor locations, you can cover the whole market. And the telecoms, they know that. That's why they invest in outdoors so much. You have some banks, you have some retailers. Retailers actually they're doing very well. They're spending quite a lot. I feel that, and they're really stepping up to the challenge. So for me, the retail here in the kingdom, for me, it's like hats off, because they've been doing a lot in the past few years, and they keep on investing. So that's keeping everything in a nice balance. It does, by the way. It does, and I think it's a matter of reach. Television in Bahrain it's quite limited, especially when it comes to Bahrain TV. I used to be the endless struggle. When I was in the agency, trying to sell my clients. Like do a TVC. But Bahrain TV is very limited, and the channels that we watch here, they're all regional channels. The LBCs, the MBCs, Rotana, and so. When you say, okay, I mean, you want to advertise into regional channels, then the budgets gets like a lot higher. So the TV is a challenge. Radio, I think radio is great. I mean, I love radio, and I always done it. When I was in the agencies, I always pushed for radio, especially the peak times, like mornings and rush hours. But and I think it's good value for money as well. But for some reason now it's like the clients kind of like fell out of love with radio, so now they're not doing so much. It used to be much more popular back in the days. But what happens that outdoors, without being an extremely expensive medium to invest in, you have the coverage. So that's thanks also to the size of Bahrain, and it's like, which is also like quite concentrated. If you look at Bahrain, it's like everything is concentrated, in the north, and in Muharraq, basically. We have, with the exception of Isatan and Rafah, but it's quite focused. So that if you choose a couple of key locations, you have the entire country covered. So. That's why outdoors is so effective. Although, again, and the downside of outdoors is that it's very difficult to measure. Yeah, it's impossible to measure. But the companies have realized that although the numbers, they cannot tell you, you got like 80% effectiveness, in this outdoors campaign, but the response from the market, it gives the clients the confirmation that yes, this campaign worked, this medium works, lampposts work, billboards work, scaffoldings work. So it's been like a bit of a trial and error, but now everyone realized that it's literally one of the most effective media you can get here in this country. A lot, and I love technology. I'm a huge believer in technology. This topic just showed me. It's a living proof of that. But everything from the beginning, and I've seen the transition from, everything being just printed media, radio and TV, and some outdoors, to moving into digital. I remember back in the days when we were getting our media planners telling us like invest in digital, as the media of the future, and they were right. So technology is always a big influence in what we do, and we apply it in our also line of business. We're the first ones to install a fully digital LED network, in Bahrain 7 years ago, and you still see it, in key locations, Sif, Jufair, Adliya, Mubarak. Now we're building on that, we're developing that even more. And you see it, everywhere you go, and all the important places, including airport. Of course, you see the screens. You see it's always evolving. So technology is a big thing. So we love to invest in. Yeah, definitely very positive. It's been on and off. We have an office in Dubai, which has been there for many years, more than 20 years. Because we were during the 90s and 2000s, we were handling Dubai Airport and Abu Dhabi Airport as one of our key clients. We actually developed Dubai Airport. If you go to now Terminal 1 and 2, everything you see there, it's been done by us. JC Deco, took over the sites, but they didn't develop anything. Everything was done by us from scratch. So Dubai office has always been very, very important. Now it's a lot more quiet, but we're working on that. Also, we're trying to bring like new products into that market and make it in a way like come back strong again. We worked in Qatar as well. We had the Qatar airport for many years, and it was so successful that literally Qatar Airways bought us out because they saw the potential of the business. They said like, thank you guys very much. Here's your bonus. Now we're taking over. And Saudi also we worked, although we don't have a permanent presence there, but we work. We have partners there, and we did like many projects as well there, always outdoors oriented. So it's always a work in progress. We're working on that. Yeah. The inspiration, the original inspiration, it comes from our managing director, which is a pioneer in outdoors media, is Fatih Al Mohammed. He's literally, the man that developed and started outdoors media here in Bahrain more than 25 years ago. And then moving into Dubai and even Saudi, as I said, Dubai Airport and Abu Dhabi Airport, mainly, they have to say thanks to us that they have what they have. But it's also, that a belief in always trying to innovate, and always focus on creative thinking, and not just be happy with having 60% market share here in Bahrain, but always try to bring the best new, like you said, technology or the best new site or the best new medium, according to the situation and what our clients need at that time. So it's it's challenging, especially when the market goes through ups and downs, and but we really believe in that, and that's what keeps us strong, and it keeps us always trying to innovate. Yes, it is, and it's amazing because considering the size of the Bahrain market, which is relatively small, I mean, you have a lot of outdoor companies, and some of them they're doing well, and you have to recognize that. But the difference is and that's what one of my clients, I mean, they was asking me like a few weeks ago. It's like, what makes you so much better than like the other guys? And it's that philosophy that we believe in. It's like always trying to add more value, always trying to innovate, or we're not happy with just like putting unipoles in the highway and it's like, come and put your brand there. For us, it's always, okay, what's next? What's the next best thing? Technology, even with simple things like changing our billboards from tube lights to LED lights. We're the first ones to bring LEDs and put the backlit unipoles and billboards. With LED lights, everyone is still now. I mean, they're using tube lights, which is like ancient technology. So even those things, it makes a difference. You can see it because it's much more beautiful. It's brighter. And it's less consumption, so it has a lot of benefits. But that is what really makes the difference. Just always trying to push the envelope. I love the campaigns. That they come and they give us a challenge. This is like we want to do something different and this and that. What about this? Usually without putting the rest of our clients down, but now the guys that are really doing the most interesting things are the telecoms, obviously, and they have the budgets, so they can they can like play a little bit with that. So well, all the three telecoms are our clients, and they're always like throwing out new ideas and trying to do new things. I remember back in the days, although I wasn't in MEM GMI, but I was from the agency side, but I worked with GMI for NTC Vodafone. We did something that it was brilliant, and even now you don't see it very often, which is we did something very, very, very innovative back then with the Mupis, which actually we were the first ones to we did, because the Mupi is self-standing, and it's on the sidewalk. So everyone, what they do is like they slap a poster, and that's your campaign. We literally covered the Mupi. I don't know if maybe you remember, we made it a mobile phone.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, back in 2004. We had one of these old Nokias, so we did a sleeve. We grabbed the mobile phone, we did a sleeve with that, and we put it on top of the Mupis, and the Mupi we transformed it into a mobile phone, and it had a little message, on the screen of the phone, and that was really nice, and we got amazing reviews from the market, because again, that's a perfect example of grabbing a media that is there and it's good and it's already established, and do something totally different with them. Now everyone they think that they're doing cutouts and lampposts, and it's like so crazy. That's it's standard for us. But that was a campaign that I remember I loved a lot, and well, like I said, it's challenges like now. Just working with one of our clients, just putting this huge 20 by 10 light boxes there and see if we're going to do a lot of very, very interesting things with those. It's massive. Yeah, well, recently I joined last year. It's been, I don't know, like 6 months.
What brought you to Capital?
A friend. Literally, a friend. And it was great. I mean, it was really a great decision, and it's a very, very good experience. And here, it's you really, I mean, the people here, they really make you feel like you're at home. You know, this is like a second home. So you come here, and it's very beneficial in so many ways. I mean, not just business-wise, because it gives you an amazing chance to network and meet new people and do business in a relaxed environment like this. But also when sometimes just come here and relax. And I do that all the time. I leave my office. Sometimes I pass by before I go home, and just wind down for half an hour or 45 minutes. You always meet someone, because you always bump into someone. Just like see a friend or someone that you know, and then you leave and just go about the rest of your evening. Much more relaxed. Without the whole tensions of your work all the time. I try to attend as many as I can, but quite honestly, they have too many. I mean, I cannot attend all of them, but yeah, and they're really good communicating those. I always get emails or messages. They always tell you, you have this and this and that. Now, March, for example, is like super busy. There's like something going on, like literally every week. But yeah, I've really enjoyed like all the activities that
After
we do here.
16 years.
No, absolutely, yeah. Now more than ever, for sure, 100%. And I'm really happy that I stayed.
About Bahrain, right?
Yeah, for
Different
sure,
from
for
all
sure.
the other Gulf countries.
Totally.